have a sister site, Innovation Generation, that targets high school kids who are interested in technology. What's your advice to girls who are at that sort of crossroads? I was really good at math, and now I don't know. I may change my mind.
Just, you got to have confidence and go for it. Because you'll run into a lot of people who will say, oh, well, you have some interest in math, so let's put you into interior design or architecture or one of those more technical but more artistic fields as well. They just have a tendency to, adults around you have a tendency to funnel you that direction. I had counselors at school, if I hadn't had the support of my parents saying, choose what you want to do and do it, you know, I had people telling me, oh, you're so much better at the liberal arts. I had English teachers who were mad at me and mad at my parents because they thought they had forced me into doing engineering. So you've got to decide and realize that it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, and there's things to go do, there's the world to explore, you know. You get to play with hands-on widgets and toys every day, you know.
Is there a role for role models, I guess? In other words, what I'm asking is, if there's a more public face for women in engineering.
One of the people my dad worked for was a woman who befriended the family when I was too young to even know what I'd be interested in. And so as I started going through school, I looked up to her a lot and looked to her a lot. She had gone to school at a point where she was literally the only female in the entire engineering department, not just, you know, the electrical engineering group or the engineering group she was in. You know, and talking to her and seeing that she had made it and that she had made it, she was in a management position, that she, you know, put up with whatever went on and had that, you know, it gave me that confidence that, well, if she could do it when it was harder, because it's not as hard as it used to be, you know, then I can do it too now.
The more women enter the engineering ranks, the more they're going to bring a different approach to problem solving into team environments. I don't know whether that translates into engineering, right, which is a little bit different. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, there's a point where I don't want people to assume that I've got different ideas because I'm female, but I know that I do approach things very different from any other engineers that I have worked with. And I think just diversity in general, bringing people in from different backgrounds with different interests, with different thought processes. And, you know, if you have a predominantly male group, they're going to eventually sort of start to think along the same lines. But if you have somebody coming from, you know, a completely different background, or a female coming in who's got a different perspective, and you're going to maintain that different perspective. You get a bunch of guys hanging out together. I've hung out with a lot of guys. Eventually, as you get a group gelling, they all start to sort of, but you throw a couple girls into that and it sort of, you know, mixes things up, and that gelling doesn't quite, oh, you know, this is what we do and this is how we do it, and that's the way things are.
So you look like you like what you're doing.
I love it. I would love working for Avnet and being an FAE because I get to see a lot more. I loved designing, but I had a hard time sitting still at a desk. And so I like being out and working and seeing all the different things that go on and being involved in stuff. And you can have someone come up, and I have a bad habit of when they idly ask, hey, I wonder how that's done. You know what? I know what components go in to make something like that happen. And I think it's cool to know that background on things.